can you can do things to attract those people.
Yeah.
And not. I know we come out the same generation, so
Yeah.
the performers during our time didn't come on stage half naked. You
Yeah.
could see part of their private parts and
Yeah.
all of that, and that's what's drawing that kind of person to her as well. Because
Could
this is
be.
one guy that's constantly stalking her,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and then other people are trying to, rob your reality and want to be like you.
Yeah.
And so, when we position ourselves in a way that we make ourselves become vulnerable
Yeah.
to these individuals, then there's not much you can really do because you created that situation.
Yeah. But the technology has become so easy for these people. A couple of clicks, they can create it. See?
Yeah, they can create it. Oh, you
Yeah.
talking about the AI? Yeah, well, I was talking about the whole story,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
That is true
but
because a lot of
but
this.
yeah, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
people do not, Dr.
Mm.
Brown, people do not have a vision for their life. They
Yeah.
stop thinking,
Yeah.
and therefore they want to be like someone else because they have a low self-esteem.
Yeah, that's true because they really don't know their true worth inside. They kind of get attracted to these temporary things which are really make them vulnerable, and afterwards they realize, what did I do? That's also there. But I'm kind of worried about the ubiquity of these technologies. People from all over the world are doing a lot of stuff to the people
Mm-hmm,
around the world.
mm-hmm.
So that that FBI director, he came on the other day. He was talking about this Chinese are doing a lot of spying, and they are getting the electric grade, telephone grade, and all those things where they can really harm us. So he was talking about we should be really preparing for this. We should be allotting more resources. It seems we have one person hacking, they have 50 people hacking,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Mm-hmm.
they focus on that very much. I believe they want to do that kind of warfare in the future, and so they're building up the network for this. When he described all that, when I listened to it, I thought we are in big trouble, unless we do something about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I kind of always felt the Chinese had this nasty bone in them. They kind of steal things and then copy the all the technology, and then they come back and harm you with the technology. So that's what they were doing for a long time, and
Mm-hmm.
we knew about it in India. They were doing that kind of thing to us all the time. Now they are doing probably to the America too, because they can hack very easily. It seems that they are very good at hacking, and they are developing
Mm-hmm.
a lot of technology for that too. So it seems
Yeah. Well,
like,
my philosophy is people steal because they
yeah,
cannot come up with their own ideas.
yeah. I mean, they are
So
improvisers,
it's
but
easier
they're
for me to take yours than for me to sit up here and try to figure out what I need to do.
that's
You
true.
know what I'm
You
saying?
see, they are stealing because they kind of bank on the goodness of people who are creating this technology, and it's available to them, and they steal it, and then they put it on there. They are improvisers, though. Whatever they take, they
Yeah.
improvise, and now they are really good at computer chips and also this hacking technology, I believe. Anyway,
Mhm.
those things are going on. So, how about you? What is going on with you, Impress?
I am wonderful. I'm back in Chicago, Illinois. This is my home. So I left
Oh,
Texas.
yeah.
Then I came home, and within 30 days, I broke my foot.
Oh,
And then, then I fell down.
yeah.
Dr.
By
Brown,
the
I've been
way,
going through so much stuff.
Chicago is my hometown too, because when I came
Is
from, yeah,
it?
yeah, when I
Where
came
did
from
you come
India,
here?
I came to
Huh?
Chicago. When I came from India in 1981, I landed in Chicago. My aunt is
Where,
there.
where,
Uh,
where? In
I
what
was
part of
in
the city?
Park Ridge, then I was in proper Chicago, on the by the lake, and also I lived in Oak Park Forest, south suburbs. I
Oak
li-
Forest?
I lived for 8 years in Chicago when I was,
Get out of here.
yeah, 90. I came to New York And from there, 95, 96, I came to Iowa. And then I settled down in Iowa ever since. But I'm going to move
Oh,
pretty soon, though.
oh, so you're still a neighbor then?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay,
Illinois, we got a lot of association because we come for shopping to Chicago quite often, and there is a
okay.
yeah, there's a Indian grocery and all that. We come for that, and also we come for the temple. And I know Chicago very well. That's why we take brief vacations there. I know the lake places.
Okay. Well,
Just
I'd love to meet you when you come one day.
sure, day and a half. We come there, we have a routine. We come to the downtown, park it in the water tower place. We park the car
The
there.
water tower.
Yeah, and then get out, and there's a buffet. We have it in the Indian restaurant there, and then we go to different places and the downtown itself, and then we go to the lake. We go to the north side of the lake and all that. So I know all those places very
Navy
well.
Pier and all of that.
Yeah, Napier and all that. So we
That's
have been,
wonderful.
yeah, we have been there so many times. So it is like our hometown, Chicago. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. This is your extended home.
Yes. I was a fan of the Cubs and a fan of the Bears and Bulls, right?
The Bears.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and Bulls also.
Yeah.
So I saw the Michael Jordan in his prime time, those games, and we followed all the seasons. That was wonderful, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
Chicago is
love
wonderful.
Chicago.
Yeah.
I just really kind of marvel over the first snowfall because
Yeah.
Texas is extremely hot and I just could not do that level of
Oh,
snow.
Chicago can kill you with lots of lake effect snow. I was at by the lake, right? So you
Uh
can
huh.
you can have dumping of the snow when they have this lake effect. So uh,
Yeah, well, we don't have any snow right now. We've been
yeah,
pretty good. My
yeah,
temperature's 40.
mm,
We're gonna be 40s and 50s this week, but
yeah,
I mean, we're gonna get another snowfall. But when we got it, it wasn't really a lot.
yeah, yeah. I think the
I mean,
snow is not there this time.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, but
Chicago's winter is not like it used to be because of global warming.
exactly, exactly. It used to
Yeah.
be, I was in the 80s there, right? At the time, a lot of snow used to happen. I got used to it pretty quickly. And then I was, wearing thermals and going and digging out the car on the street. All those things I kind of went through that. But then once we got to the suburbs, we got the house. The winter was not that bad because we could park it outside, inside, and then go and get rid of it and all that. But in Iowa, we still have snow here, but not that much as Chicago. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like I said, I'm glad to be back home, and I've had a lot of calamities that happened to me after I arrived. So I guess I'm taking that as my welcoming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
And
actually there are so many things that you can do in winter also, Empress, in Chicago. We can go to ice sculptures, we can go to museums, and
oh yeah,
yeah, a lot of
oh
places
yeah.
are there. Yeah, I really love my Chicago because you remember the Montrose Beach and the lake,
Montrose Beach.
they used to have a fish ramp all the way into the lake. So I used to walk
Uh,
down the ramp. It is way into the lake, and then I used to sit at the edge of the ramp, and you feel like
uh,
the entire water is surrounding you, and you are kind of asleep. I used to sit down there and read philosophical books. You know,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that
Well,
was
I think I'm not sure of Montrose, but on many of the lake along the lakefront, they still have those
yeah.
little walkways out into the water.
I think they closed
Yeah.
that particular ramp that I used to use before. A lot of people come there and fishing and all that. But I used to go there, sit and just read my book on the weekend or something. And sometimes I used to get the tickets for the Cubs game, and
Hmm.
I take the game and then come from the game, but then I have still 2 hours left for to go to the game. Then I used to go to the tramp and to stay in that middle of the lake and just study books. That was
Yeah.
something else.
Well, have you been to the Cubs?
Yeah, several
Uh,
times,
since
several.
it's been remodeled?
Yeah, yes. But before also, when I was there, I used to go to. Harry Carey was alive at the time, so I used to
Yeah.
go quite often to those games. And
Yeah.
then I saw two Bears games, I think, two Bears game and a Bulls game. I did not see them here. I saw them on the TV, but I saw them in
Okay.
New Jersey when they came there. When I was in New York, they came there. Then I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
Michael Jordan, I use him in my talks because he was made to do Zen meditation by Phil Jackson. See, before,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Pippen and him, they used to make fun of Phil Jackson because he was making them sit down and meditate before
And
the game.
meditate, right? But you know what? They won though, didn't
Yeah, they weren't, but then they appreciated after that. But then at the beginning, they
they?
were
Yeah.
kind of making fun of Phil Jackson, but he made them do
Yeah.
that. So one of the things I
Yeah.
use them is, see, look at this. Michael Jordan goes from one basket to other basket. First he scores, and immediately he has to forget about that because he has to focus on going and defending the next ball, right? So
Yeah.
that is the meditation I teach for these executives or leaders so that they can really focus on what they're doing. That's an example I use. Tell them as an example, you know,
Hmm.
because he was very
Okay.
good in the moment, and then he didn't know that the tongue is coming. Hi, Empress, come up. I think you're gone already. You can come back if you want to. So it's a good analogy that you could use to see the excellence of Jordan, uh, and his emblem of excellence. You see, he kind of used so many times. He said, "I failed 5,000 times, then I succeeded." Say all the throws he was doing.
Right.
So yeah,
Right.
Michael
Yes, he
Jordan
did.
is a
Yes, he
model for
did.
excellence. He's a real model for excellence. So I use his book also. There's a book, Empress. Do you know that? It's called Excellence, I think.
No.
Yeah, I
Who is it
think
by?
about Michael Jordan.
Oh, it's about Michael Jordan. No, I have not read any of
Yeah,
his materials. No.
something like
No.
excellence or achieving excellence, something like
I
that.
lived. I lived through him when he was playing here. So,
Okay, 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 okay. Uh,
but so I definitely just know firsthand and have met him.
yeah,
And you're
yeah,
circling around
yeah,
different places where he was living here, but
yeah.
the one thing that I really liked about him was that he was very focused and disciplined,
Yeah.
and that is and consistent. So
Yes.
that is the keys to success because you have to be focused,
Yes.
disciplined, and consistent.
Consistent. Yeah. And he was not tempted by other things. You see, even
He was
yeah,
not.
yeah, that is an important thing because he was. They are making people are drinking, are doing merry and all that, but he was very disciplined to get up early in the morning and go to the
Yeah.
ground and dedicate. So all those things are important because I am familiar with a culture called Gurukul culture in India, ancient times. They had all those features. People have to be
Yeah.
leaving their parents to stay with the guru, and then he treats them like their children, and then puts them to all this discipline so that they will develop this habit. Get up in the morning, go to the forest, bring some fruits and vegetables and all that, and then dedicate themselves to study and retire early. All those things are there with the kid. That's why those people, they became princes, kings later on because they were given that training so that they can handle the on all the duties of administration of that kingdom. And these people are given these habits. As a yogi, I get up very early in the morning, Empress. Like a
Uh
3
huh.
3:30 4 o'clock. I get up usually between 3:30 to 4. And then I have a lot of things I do. By the time 6 o'clock, I have done a lot of things.
I'm the same way. I wake up at 4:30 every morning, and that's my body clock. That's not the
Good,
alarm.
good, good. So you know what I'm
Yeah,
talking
but
about.
I'm
Yeah,
up at 4:30 every morning. Like you, I do my meditation, my prayers, then I
yeah,
start my
yeah,
day.
yeah,
By 9, 10 o'clock, I'm pretty much done with most of the things I have to do, and I got the rest of the day to do what I want.
yeah. Usually, other people also don't disturb me with what I want to do because I'm at a stage of life I do what I want to do, right? But then there is a obligation for other people, some appointments and all that I give because people seek out some counseling and all that. Then also this wellness club I run. Students come in the morning I do yoga with them, and so that they will have questions, then I answer them. And then there was consultations, and there are these webinars, interviews, and all those things happen. So in the morning, I am alone with myself. So there's a wonderful time for me for my self inquiry, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then after once I come out of that, it's so refreshing, so beautiful, and that blissness, this blessed feeling continues through the day.
Yes.
You know what
One
I
of the
mean?
things
Yeah,
I was gonna say, one of the things that I've been doing, because I've been doing a lot of self care
yeah,
since last month, and
mm,
so I'm into sensory deprivation, flotation,
yeah.
and that really, really helps to.
Arrange things. Yeah,
Um, you're familiar with it?
yeah. I'm because you have
Yeah,
to use your
yeah. That's some deep healing stuff right
yes,
there, as well
yes,
as clearing the mind. I normally
yes,
do a 2 hour float,
yes,
and by the time I get out of the tank, I look about 10 years younger because it just removes all the stress
yes. Because
and
you are,
heals the body
yeah, you kind of
from the
immersed
deep
in that
core level.
flow of things, and then you are just involved with what you're doing, and the mind is
Oh,
automatically right.
yes.
Yeah, I know it. I know. I know the feeling, how it feels. It is such a
Yeah.
see. That's the one secret, Amras. People don't realize is all the happiness, all the bliss is really within us,
It's
and
within us.
yeah, that is reflected on outward things. But we think outward things are giving us those bliss. That is not the other way. So that's why once we touch that, we know the lightness of the being, and
Mm-hmm.
serenity, and real flow into whatever we do. Right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Understand you what you're
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. I do it twice a month,
Yeah.
and I've been into it for years.
I see.
But now that I'm back home, I'm returning back to it. Because they're not in every city, although Dallas does
Yeah.
have one, and I kind of went to that one there. But I love the ones here in
Yeah.
Chicago. They are just, but when you're talking about flotation, and I've been trying to just share information about the whole sensory deprivation
Yes.
process
Mhm.
for healing our bodies.
Mm.
And most people say, "Oh, I'm afraid of the dark." Well,
Ah,
first of all, you come out of darkness and you're going to return back to darkness.
yeah.
However,
I was talking
you know,
about this. Somebody is talking to me about vacation yesterday, and I told
uh-huh,
them you can take a vacation every night. This is how come? I said take vacation from your mind, vacate the
right,
mind. You know,
right,
you know
right.
what I'm talking about. You vacate the mind, then you feel that you have taken a vacation.
Mm-hmm.
On the other
And
hand, if yeah,
you
you
feel
can
refreshed.
yeah, you can go to the vacation, but still worried about the work. Take the work with you, laptop. All these IT people, they are doing that because they have deadlines, they have demands on them. So they
Yeah.
never take vacation from their mind.
Huh.
This is what I learned from J. Krishnamurti in the 80s. He talked about vacate the mind every day. So what I do is habitually, as I working through the day, I kind of end things, vacate them as they're going along. So I'm never out of that movement to movement awareness. So that continues automatically so that at the end of the day, I don't have any brain fog.
Right. And then that's when your spiritual doors are open when
Exactly.
you're not holding all of that past thought of what happened 20 years ago, yesterday,
Yeah.
and all of that. Now you got a direct connect
Connect.
when
Yes.
that mind is totally clear.
This is described in yoga as swaprakasha. Swaprakasha means lights by
Mm-hmm.
itself. Our inner light is already like a sun. It is
Right.
self-luminous.
Mm-hmm.
That is what that
Mm-hmm.
swaprakasha means. So
Right.
to really allow that self-illumination to come out, take your mind away from it. Is a kind of like a wheel that is covering our natural light. Once we remove this light of ego, then our real light comes out.
At
Yeah.
night I sleep with a mask. I
Yeah,
don't sleep, and although my room is dark,
yeah,
but I also sleep with a mask
yeah.
because it helps me to go in much deeper
Yes, yes.
so that I can see the inner light.
And also your melatonin secretion will be enhanced by covering the eyes like that.
You say that again?
Melatonin, that's a hormone that puts us to
Mm-hmm.
sleep,
Mm-hmm.
that is secreted when you have this blindfold and then darkness, then that
Really?
enhance. These days these people are doing these phones quite a bit, and that gives that blue light. It actually dampens the melatonin. That's why they can't sleep very well.
Okay.
But like you said, like you're wearing a mask, if you wear the mask, then the darkness initiates the secretion of the melatonin, which is good for you.
Yes. All right. Well, that's good. I'll make sure I keep my. I
That's
just
good,
washed
really.
my eye mask today, so
Yeah.
it could be nice because you don't want to keep your eye mask clean, so you don't
Yes.
get any bacteria,
Yeah.
from just makeup, sweat, oil, whatever, in your
Yeah.
eyelids. But
Yeah.
because when we sleep, our eyelids don't close all the way,
Yes.
so the mask to help me. The one that I have helps me to close those eyelids so that
In Wall
I can
Street,
really remember.
Empress, in Wall Street in New York, they have these sleep labs. All these executives who are stressed out, they go there. They're like regular massage parlors, like, they go there. They have these small cubicles they made into sleeping chambers. Like for 20 minutes, they go under the bucket and then put this blinders, like a mask or whatever. And then they go to
Uh-huh.
sleep, have a power nap, and then come out refreshed.
And
That
come out of it fresh.
refresh.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that
Yeah.
is encouraged for them because they have high stress. They are working at the Wall Street, right? So that's why these
Yeah.
things are there, either massage or this one. So actually, I was
Yeah.
recommending wellness oasis to the hospitals. What they are is, suppose you go as a visitor to see somebody, but you can see the wellness oasis and go there and learn the tricks of these kind of things, breathing, taking short nap or meditation. All those things are shown to you, and also resources are given to you. So that's like a oasis because you don't find that anywhere else. In the
Yeah.
hospital, there is prominently displayed. People may come and may get familiar, may take it up later on. That's completely my own invention. I gave it to the hospitals.
Yeah.
Yeah, but many people don't
Well,
want to do this because there's no money in it, they say.
yeah.
But it's a good thing
Wow.
for the people. That's why I kind of
Yeah.
recommend them. And then
Yeah.
they get excited. They do it. Some people do it ongoing. Some people don't do it. I think it will catch up slowly.
Yeah. Well, my battery is about to go out, so
Okay.
I'm gonna let somebody else
Yeah.
come in if they like,
Yeah.
and I'll pick up on. I gotta pull my other phone out
Yeah.
and come back in.
Okay.
Okay, but guess what?
Okay. Nice.
This battery is about to
Yeah.
go down for real.
Nice talking to you, Empress. Nice to see you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Okay. So we were chatting with Empress. I know her before. That's why. But Chicago is my hometown. Like even though I lived in uh, Iowa for so many years, probably I'll be leaving Iowa pretty soon. But we may be going some warm place this time because our clinic is done. Children are educated and moved out of the house, so we don't have nothing to be here for. Okay, that's why we were going to leave. But meanwhile, we are enjoying Iowa too. And then the close proximity to Chicago is something which is very good for us because we go to Chicago quite often. So thank you, Empress, for reminding me of my hometown, Chicago. Uh, so I was talking to my friends this morning about spirituality and artificial intelligence. The speed with which artificial intelligence is going, and the things it can do if you don't have these uh, measures to keep ourselves cared well. So I call that comprehensive self-care. So if you don't take care of your nutrition, if you don't take care of your exercise, if you don't take care of your sleep and then keeping the mind vacant, you will be pressed by so much information. So many things are happening to people. They are overwhelmed, they have the brain fog, they cannot focus, they have anxiety, depression, not able to sleep, and not having the open communication, intimate communication. Kids are talking through chat, they are not developing the human skills of conversation, talking to each other, knowing people, and all that, so I'm really concerned about the side effects of the AI. Even though I have to admit, I use AI, I embraced it, I learned it, and I can make my own videos, I can make my own courses, I can do prompt engineering, I can do designing, and I spend a lot of time on these courses and all this, which I'm glad I learned these things. So, hi Nazli. So, AI itself, I think, is a technology that has the potential to improve our speed of productivity, learn a lot of things, and also we don't know what else it can do down the line. But there's also concern the amount of information that is generated would increase the information overload, and how we are dealing with information now is going to get worse. Okay, that's what I was talking about in that room. So anybody who is going through these shocks that we are getting from the information revolution era, they are all concerned because what we are going to do, how we are going to, like for example, today I was talking about Taylor Swift. Somebody defaked her photographs and exposed her or something like that, and she was very unhappy, obviously. And then all the women reporters that were reporting also quite upset with all this. Okay, so that is what is happening with this tremendous revolution of technology. I don't think we have taken such kind of technology at this scale ever. This is going to be not only revolutionized, but has the potential to do massive harm too. That's why you got to be careful about these things. And also, what I am saying is, okay, develop the technology, but have the background, have the capacity to use that properly, or develop the inner being of people so that they won't do harm to other people. Okay, I think some of the girls who were really faked as though they don't have any clothes, those people committed suicide. That is directly harming other human beings, right? So these people who have these no principles, and then they just want to do what they want to do, they don't realize how much they are hurting other people. It seems the Twitter has published it, some 40 million people saw it before Taylor Swift put it down. So if somebody like Taylor Swift, who she is creating economies, big economies by her stand on independent rights of the singers, and also being very innovative about marketing and all that. She has created a lot of real lessons for people of musicians, how to sell their product, how to make money, and all that, right? So she's a phenomena. We all know about it. If they could do something to her, probably she may do something to rectify the situation. That is there. But whether she will be able to change anything, we'll wait and see. So um, it so happened that I was talking in this room this morning. I think that wisdom, I can put it there so that my friends can listen to it. If they want, you go and check in my talks. The previous talk to this talk is that talk this morning. I think Nazli, you will enjoy that because there's a lot of issues that I talked about that may appeal to you. Go check it out. So today I was just bringing that need of the spirituality to overcome the side effects of the artificial intelligence. But as I said, I embraced artificial intelligence, I use it, I am really getting benefited. But I want to um, do them because they're going to do something good for other people. So if I'm writing a script for this talk, for example, I didn't do it. I usually come and talk spontaneously. But if I want to prepare a PowerPoint presentation or something, it is much better now, much easier. Before I used to do PowerPoint too, but then it took a lot more time. But now it's like a few seconds. I can get some slide deck. I can go into the Canva and I can use the Magic board there, and then I will get to what I PowerPoint I want within a few minutes. Actually, that's amazing. Before it used to be several hours, right? And I do a lot of talks with a lot of people, with the universities, with the friends, with the organizations, with the hospitals, and all that, right? So I'm saving enormous time with artificial. But then my purpose is to really educate and bring awareness to my friends and followers and family and patients and all that. So that way, it is really helping me in a good cause. But the same instrument can be in other people who don't may not have good intentions and they want to harm people, and that's what I'm talking about with this Taylor Swift episode. You know, so be careful, be aware, be getting educated about these things, and then don't give privacy to be stolen by people. And that is happening really because when I was talking to Empress, this also came out. I was talking to not to, I was listening to a newscast where the FBI chief he came and he was saying the Chinese are pretty good at hacking, and they have employed a lot of people just to hack all the systems in the United States. So our electric grid and telephone grid, a lot of things are at risk, I believe. If United States hires one hacker, China has 50 hackers. So 50, 1 to 50 ratio. So they are hacking like anything, they are stealing anything, they are improvising those things, and some of the technologies they are building. Okay, but then essentially there's a like a underlying cold war of the cybersecurity is going on between United States and China. China collects much more data also because they collect this facial recognition, so they can follow anybody in any group and tell everything about them. It's pretty scary, but it is there for them. And then they are doing that. They are kind of monitor everything on everybody, and obviously that's going to be adopted by several people around the world. It's not. I have no doubt about it. If not now, very near future, very soon they will do that, and then the more this data is coming in, the more will be generated, and that is something that can lead to near neurosis. That means you are occupied only with the data. Even now, people cannot be without a phone. If you take a phone from my daughter, she will kill me. So I mean, she's adult now, so that's why we don't really have to be that much. But other kids who are teenagers, they're actually harmed by this information. There was a story the other day when they were investigating this Meta, Twitter, all the YouTube and everybody, right? TikTok, they said about a young girl. Some of the adult men uh, impose they're posing as her age kid, and then get familiar with her, get friendly with her, and the moment she sends something intimate photographs, then they start to blackmail, and then this girl was blackmailed for to $10,000, I believe, and after they taken it, they wanted more photos and all that, and then eventually she committed suicide. That's why her mother came and gave us the story on the news hour. So these things are happening. We are very concerned about it. That's why. How does the spirituality help? This is the uh, first of all, you are more alert and aware in what's happening. So you will try to do whatever you can do to protect your privacy, and also you will protect your kids in a way. And even the most engaged parent may not know some things, I believe. That's why we want the legislators to put some regulation where this is not easily given to anybody, and the kids are protected from it. But apart from that, I was talking about what are the effects of this too much information on your mind in terms of deficit, attention deficit. That has gone so much. And also, people need attention to any of the spiritual practices of meditation, awareness practices, or anything that you want. The first thing they do is, you know, that's it. You got to develop the attention, and that is the primary thing to advance spiritual practices, right? So that is going to go on. Other thing is, usually spirituality involves like a, you know you realize there are a lot larger than you forces out there. Some may call it god, some may call it consciousness, some may call it love, whatever, right? But you always know that there are so many things larger than you. That is something that is getting lost because people are becoming mechanical, and that's not good. And the other thing is altruism, doing good thing just for the sake of good thing, not to expect anything in return or money and all that. That kind of thing, altruism, may be thing of the past with proliferation of this AI. Of course, anxiety, depression, insomnia, headache, all these things I normally see. And the other thing is, most of the people, they will be doing the same thing even though they know it's not good for them. That's basically a definition of insanity. So if you look at anybody, if you really see how dependent they are on the devices, on the internet, on the likes and all that, that is a danger. They're slowly marching into not a joyful life, but more like a addicted life to their phones and devices and all that. So this is what I want to bring to everybody's notice so that they can really see. Okay, we have to really pay attention to these things and also take some responsibility. Other thing is, some of the things I talk about. If you are uh, artificial intelligence person in any way, you are doing a lot of data or a lot of IT work, a lot of creation or whatever, right? There are certain ways that you need to nurture yourself. That means when you get up in the morning, don't get into the train of thought. That's something I was talking about. And during the day, pay attention to everything. Don't do multitasking. Do one task at a time. And also take breathing breaks through the day. And also be responsive, not respond to things, but not react emotionally to unnecessary things. That's how many people are building up a lot of stress. So what happens is, if you mentally react, somebody said something or something is happening, you feel bad, you feel kind of contracted, and you feel like insulted and all that, you will produce the stress hormones, right? That then you can do it slowly till the evening, and then you accumulate a lot of stress, and this could affect your health. So what I was recommending is, respond to your task, to your duties, be responsible, but don't react mentally for everything. And also, even if you react at the home, when you go to sleep, you want to retire, unwind, and also assess all these reactions and then run them like a film and then see what is important, what's not. If it is important, write on a paper. If it's not important, forget it, remove from your mind. If you start to do that exercise every day, you can be very healthy mentally, even though you are working with a lot of this data information. So this is something I teach in my course, digital detox. I talked about that several times in the clubhouse also. But the digital detox done every month or every 3 months, which is immense good for you. You don't have to do anything; just understand what is involved, and then also allow your mind to be emptied. If you can empty that, then your mind will regenerate in the sleep. That's the purpose of the sleep, is to restore your body and the mind, right? if you can restore the body and mind with a good sleep, you have done yourself a huge favor. So figure out what are the things that is not allowing you to sleep good. For example, if you are drinking a glass of wine every day, you may think it's not nothing, but it's over the time. What happens is you develop tolerance. So instead of one glass, you want to go to two, from two to four, and then that becomes alcoholism, right? So not necessarily four, but you're drinking more than four. So don't allow your reticular activity system, your nervous system, for the use of these kind of drink. I don't drink at all. That's I can tell other people don't do. I'm a physician as a yogi, so I have a lot of qualifications not to drink at all. And the other, main thing is, um, I used to take a glass of wine before once in a while. That used to be okay. But then after I developed these meditation practices where I'm always in the moment to moment awareness and meditative awareness, my mind becomes so sensitive without me knowing. If I even taste a sip of wine, it affects my mind. So once I saw that, then it was 10 years ago, I think. Then I said, no, I'm not going to even touch the even small wine. And ever since, I've been pretty good with that. I can sleep 3 to 4 hours, but it's pretty deep sleep, and the sleep really revives me in the morning. You know, so all these simple things we can do to incorporate into our daily routines, and that is we can apply in our real life. Okay, how is that, Nazli? Do you like that? Okay, all right. So anybody has any questions on the wisdom app? Sanya is there, Robert Moon, and uh, I just talked to Her Majesty, and Elias, Cecilia. Okay, all right. So go and check that talk I gave this morning on the LinkedIn audio, but I recorded here too, so that people can look at that. And I'll be. Yeah, Nazli, you have any question for me?
Hello, Dr. Rao.
Yeah,
I want to check my understanding with you
yeah.
about values.
Mm,
So how I understand is that since the universe is really huge,
yeah.
um, we and the consciousness,
Mm,
um, basically human being has a very very high value because of being conscious
yeah,
and because of understanding
yeah,
feelings and thoughts and and so then comes the um, values that people earn
mm,
out of hard work.
yeah.
So does the value of uh, knowing more than the other person
Mm,
put one person higher than the other person,
mm,
considering that I suppose this value is small compared to consciousness and
yeah,
just being alive. But it's a bit paradoxical. Thank you.
yeah. What it is uh, this is a question that came up today about how is the um, how is the equanimity applies here. What are the ways that um, we could employ this safety and also protect people, all that around it. So I was telling them about something. See, as I looked at the moral values, I look at the ethical values and all that. There is something in in the ancient wisdom about we are all one, that oneness, right? And once we touch that oneness, we cannot hurt other people. Like, Christ said, you are your brother's keeper. But ancient wisdom also said, you and your brother are one energy, right? So if you have that kind of ethical, moral uh, oneness that you feel, then you don't have this feeling of I'm superior to you just because I know few more facts or knowledge. Actually, knowledge as it is in the external sciences is very important. But when you look for the spiritual evolution inside, the less knowledge you have, the better it is. Okay, then you can touch your real self very easily. So they say keep your mind quiet, then you will see the real truth. And keep your mind still, then you see the God of consciousness or oneness and all. This is a very important thing now, Nazli, because we are all connected. And whatever that we produce here, it will be around the world. Within the next few seconds, it will be there. So no geographical divisions. People are all one, right? So if you can perceive that oneness in your, perception, like I do, I feel like we are all one energy. So there's no doubt about it. So that happens because you are holding on to that oneness, not to the separativeness that which we are built up. We are brought up like that. Right? We are separate person, separate name, separate country, separate sex, and all that. But then physical realities are there. Some mental, practical things are there. But apart from that, that life force where we are all one, that's where you come to, because once you understand how to transcend your mind is quiet, and you end up with your real self. And once you land yourself and plant there, for me, there's something called one's attention has always to be poised on one's inner self, not the egotistical self, but the self that is the animating our body and mind, that is our conscious being, our consciousness itself. So just because you are more alert, more aware, and conscious doesn't mean you are superior than other people, and or they are inferior than you, because you and them are one. So once you cultivate that oneness, that interconnectedness, and that's the reality, really. Once you see that, once you are established in that, you have very tranquil mind, serene mind. So you got to go through the mind to find this, but once you find that, your mind calms down. Make sense?
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Hmm. So there is a Sanskrit thing for this, Nazli. You can remember this. Ekta. Ek means one. Ekta means oneness. Just remember that as much as possible. We are all one. We are all one, and you'll end up in that oneness, because that's what is really the truth. You know.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure. That's a good question, though, because our problem is we are always going away from that oneness, like we are separating ourselves, and that's why the divisions form, and that's why we feel like we have to fight with each other. We don't accept people as they are. We want something from them, or all that, because we think we are separate. We need these things for ourselves, and we have to rob other people or take them from. All those things will come into place. But once you really realize we are oneness, whatever you want to do for them will come up. So there is a definition between spiritual person and the materialistic person. A material person, when he closes his eyes, he has this lack of peace, thoughts going all over, or thinking about problems, or worrying about all that. But when he opens his eyes, he wants the world to do something for himself, okay, because he thinks he's separate. But whereas a spiritual person, knowing that he's connected with everything in the universe, he's not alone anymore. And when he closes his eyes, he has the peace, the serenity, the stillness of mind, solitude of mind. All those things are there. That's real. That is a very blissful thing. When he opens his eyes, he wants to do something for the world, for a person, for a club, so they come and then they just give and help and love and service.
But I still I don't know why we are one, because
Yeah.
this is based on thinking that there is one consciousness. But what science
One in the
suggests is
sense,
that there are like
yeah.
billions of consciousness
Yeah.
that communicate through language with
Yeah.
others, so they are not one.
Yeah.
If we say we are one, it's just considering that there is one consciousness, everything is born out of it.
Yes, that's what it is. You see, it is at the both may ekta. That's how the Sanskrit describes it. Both means this consciousness we're talking about. There at that level, not at the level of body, not at the level of mind. We are all different, right? We have different bodies, different things, and all. But that life force, which is there in all of us, and that is the consciousness we're talking about. That is where we are all one. And you can use language and all that to express ourselves and all that. But essentially, in spirit, in consciousness, we are all one. When you go away from that, then you have problems to go back to that oneness. But once you realize this is oneness, and that's why we are there, everything, our thoughts, your emotions, your actions, they all flow from that feeling of oneness. Take it at a time.
This is a matter of acceptance, because one
Yeah.
could argue that we are all different.
Yeah, you could argue that, but that's your right. But the thing is, when you argue that, you are separating yourself from the reality of oneness, then the problems come. It takes some time because we usually are identifying with our body and with our mind, and then we project ourselves we are different from other people, and that keeps on separating everybody. But you have to go through your phase of investigating. Don't believe anybody, but then investigate that. What That's very good that you have that questions, you have those doubts, and you got to go through finding the answers for them by yourself. That is the spiritual sadhana, they call it. Sadhana means practice, spiritual quest, spiritual inquiry, whatever you call it, right? And that's a good thing to exercise, because if you follow somebody, if you really agree with them, then you don't have the experience of investigating and finding the truth. If you find the truth by yourself, that lasts, right?
Thank you so much, Doctor.
Yeah, sure. No, your questions are pretty good, Nasli. Keep on asking, keep on probing. That's a very good thing for you. So we were talking about spirituality and artificial intelligence. This is pursuant to my talk this morning. I think it's also recorded on the wisdom. If you go to my talks, just before this talk, that other talk done in the morning at 10 o'clock to 11:30, I think we did at my time. You can listen to that, and then you can bring the questions if you want. Santosh, how are you? All right, maybe he's busy. So, uh, what is the time now? Okay, almost nearing 7. Okay. Hi, Santosh. How are you?
Hello, doctor. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Very good.
Listening your conversation, I was just driving around.
Yeah.
I just came out from home for some work, some
Okay.
sort of job, and I just tuned into Clubhouse, and I saw you there, and
Yeah, this is important times for the AI, and also to protect from the side effects of the AI. I'm bringing some of the spiritual principles to help people. So
AI is, AI is revolutionized the
yeah,
world now
yeah,
in different way. But if we use properly, it's a lot of benefits. But there is always something comes up.
yeah.
With the
That's true. I enjoy the AI, some of the features. I use the Chat GPT, I use the Canva, I use
using
the,
AI in a
yeah,
very good way,
yeah, very good
doctor.
way. Yeah,
I'm using like
yeah,
I'm using AI in a very good way. Like
yeah,
I take help from AI in different way, like making some design,
yeah,
writing books, and then
yeah.
even for holiday, I ask with ChatGPT to make me a plan so I can save a lot of time.
Yes.
I do all the good things from the AI, so I'm taking advantage of it. And my
Yeah.
son is 12
Somebody
years old, and
somebody
yeah,
sent me these 300 prompts. I can engineer my
yeah,
own prompt. I have taken training on that, so I do very. I play with the prompt engineering and all the design my own prompt. I don't do it for money, but I use them. And that all
yeah,
helped me to cut down the time that I need to do for these things. Quite
yeah,
quite a
yeah.
lot. Really, I saved a lot of time. That's good. So,
Okay, that is that is like we are talking about time management and all these things. And
yeah,
if you
yeah,
utilize AI in a good way, like you can manage a lot of time. Even
yes,
like for my flower business, I create all the content from the
yeah,
ChatGPT. I just because I know English a little bit, right? I know
yeah,
English, so
yeah.
once I search on ChatGPT, then I use my own language there, mix up or reshuffling here and there, and take
Yeah,
something out, put
yeah,
some my in, and that's what I do. I wrote a couple of books on that basis as well. Like I got a concept, I got a thinking, I got a thought, and then that thought to convert into productive one. So you
yeah,
you take AI, but don't take everything from AI. If you do
yeah.
that, then you kill your creativity.
Oh,
So
you
you
got
don't.
you got to edit.
Yeah,
You got just to be you authentic. There was one
yeah,
Amy Amada, and she taught me how to really make that content your own and heartful, and how you
yeah,
can put your own voice. That was a worthwhile course. I took it. So you
yeah,
can edit things. You can put your own stuff, and then ChatGPT can ask you questions, and then you can build it up, and then you can rewrite very easily. All in all, you have to make an effort to make it authentic from you.
that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Doctor, like I will give you a very simple example. I wrote a book called The Organic Habits Loop. That book I written already. If
Ah.
I wanted to release that book, I could be releasing before 2 months, but I'm putting like extra time there. I'm holding a little bit extra because I'm
Yeah.
thinking I can get some other materials. I'm reading all of them and we're
Yeah.
getting more other content. I'm listening here and there, topping up a little bit here and there. So that's how you make a nice one. Otherwise, just to go to ChatGPT, write me a book of, on the basis
That's
of just
the
here about how it goes, it
yeah,
will write down the book for you.
yeah.
It's not a hard job, right? So the
No,
thing is, you put your own authentic
yeah,
self.
it's not right because it has to be from your own experience, and you can use some of the grammar, punctuation, all that from that, but the ideas and essential substance has to be from you, and verified and evidence based. I'm very strict about that. So that's important.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah,
Otherwise, like everybody can write anything. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But as long as you have that knowledge, you have experience, and
yeah,
you have experimented those things, if you
yeah.
include that on your creation, that is more effective. Otherwise, what's the point? Just the copy paste and all these things.
You know what
Copy
happened to
paste
me,
doesn't make it.
Santosh? You know what happened to me?
Yeah,
I wrote these books, but then more
yeah.
than the books, when I talk, so much more material comes out of me.
Mm,
So it's all in my thing, right? So it will come out of me. When I wrote the books, but then I didn't release them just for the reason I wanted to make it authentic, my own, and all that.
yeah.
So it takes,
Very true, doctor. I know. I
yeah.
know. Yeah,
I don't have to release them, but then I do talk about
yeah,
the substance in there. And lots of times I found when I come and talk like this, they come spontaneously what I learned in the past, you know. So, but
yeah,
one thing is, I do worry about several human issues. I do worry of the suffering. I do about what's happening in the worldwide events, current events. So I'm pretty up on that, aware of that. So I think about
You
them.
know
I
what?
can react,
You know
So,
what?
yeah.
Probably coming to United States next year, 25 or 26. I'm not confirming. I
Hmm.
think I have to meet with you in the New York. You live in New York, right?
No, no, I live in Iowa.
Oh, you already live in because New York. My mainly I go to Boston, New York, and Washington D.C. That line I always go.
Ah,
Every time I go there, I have to go there.
yeah.
Hey, I don't know. I just
No,
but
I was in New York for
uh,
5 years from 90 to 95. Then I came to Iowa and I stayed here. I built a house and office and everything here. But now we are selling everything off because we want to retire. We want to go to a warm place and all that. I was in New York for 5 years and I loved it.
oh, that's good. That's
Yeah,
good, doctor.
yeah.
Doctor, I will be a little bit out for a while. I will come back a little bit later. Thank
Yeah,
you so much. I really enjoyed that.
I'm closing this because it's 7 o'clock
All
now.
right.
Thanks, Santosh.
Thank you, doctor.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Okay. Okay. Okay, everybody on the wisdom. Thanks for coming. I'll see you again tomorrow.